Hi, everyone. You are tuned into In the Making with Mander. I'm your host, Amanda Roy, also known as Mander. And we're going to talk about art again today. That's what we do here. We
Yes,
talk
we
about
love
art.
art. Okay.
And I'm here with Tiana Correa. She's going to talk with me about art.
We're going to talk about art, Mander. Oh my goodness, guys. Last time you tuned in, we actually learned all about Amanda, but Mander as an artist. Amanda as an artist is so unique. She talked a lot about the way that she makes her inks to create her art. We also talked a lot about like what her inspirations were, what she actually forges in order to make her creations. But you know what? Today I'd like for us to tune in and really talk about how can people see your work in person, right? It's one thing to know how things happen, but when you get up close and personal with it and purchase, tell us a little bit. What does 2025 look like for Mander? Okay, we all set.
2025 is wild. I have 3 solo shows this year.
Wow.
I've never done a solo show before.
You had Parkville Market Art Gallery.
I had the Parkville Art Gallery.
Yep.
That was a group show. I was
Yep.
with, I think, 16 other artists.
Mhm.
But from having my artwork in that gallery, people who run galleries approached me. I wasn't seeking this.
Yes, that's right. That's manifestation. You don't go seek, they come to you.
That's right. And I think what ended up happening was when I was at the Parkville Art Gallery, I was in this corner and I had art on both sides. And people would stand in that corner. And a lot of the feedback that I got was that it felt really peaceful and it felt really calm.
The peaceful corner, Mander. Come on, you see it. You see it. Her in the middle.
And that's what these directors of galleries really saw was this presence of peace and harmony from my work, which is really moving to me to hear people say that.
Absolutely.
And they asked me to do solo shows. So I will be, my first show opens March 31st.
March 31st.
At East Hartford. That's right. Mark your calendars. East Hartford Public Library. And that's going to run through May 11th.
Okay.
And that show is called What Echoes Within.
What does that mean? I just felt like a little bit like of a tingle inside.
It's kind of a sexy title.
Yay,
right?
I like that. Sexy title. Because Mander's sexy. Okay.
That's right. That's right. I like
But
sexy.
Echoes Within. So that show in East Hartford, what was inspired by that?
That is going to be about how music connects to memory and how music connects to what we feel.
Wow.
So
music lovers, tune in. Okay.
That's right. It's going to be mostly pop music, like popular music, looking back at like the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, even now. And music that like resonates with me. So echo, resonate.
Yeah.
So it's like what's echoing within me and what are the emotions that are echoing within me? What's the music that's echoing within me? And that's what's going to translate onto
the walls.
Yeah.
In East Hartford. Wow. Yeah. And how many pieces will you have displayed?
I have no idea yet.
I love that. See, again, because this is organic. We're just flowing. We're creating as we go. And you have the time. This is great.
I have probably 20 pieces right now that will go up. There's a mix of mostly, mixed media with embroidery, mark making, and my ink painting. I have some pieces that I weave together, like the paper, where I will paint a piece of paper with ink and then I slice it into little strips.
Yes.
And then I weave them together, kind of like
we like used to pie. Like the pie too.
Yeah. Exactly, like the top of a pie. Or like in elementary school, you'd make like placemats.
Yes, yes.
And so it's like woven like that. And I paint to songs. And I have one, Cyndi Lauper, who was my idol growing up. I painted to All Through the Night by Cyndi Lauper. And I have this woven piece to it. I have I think 6 woven pieces that'll be in that show, and then a bunch of others. So it ranges from Nick Drake and songs from the 70s to songs that are still coming out right now. And there are going to be some local artists from the Hartford area whose songs will be translated into my paintings and interpreted on the walls there.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. That's
so those are secret
beautiful.
collaborations.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also, if you want to collaborate with Mander, she's always open. So definitely reach out. Okay.
That's right.
So we have a show in East Hartford. Where else? So if people want to mark the calendars, we have the end of March. What else is happening for 2025?
So East Hartford, March 31st to May 11th. There is going to be an artist reception on April 17th of this year. So you can come hang out with me and hear about
learn more in person.
That's right. East Hartford Public Library. And then I will be at the Amos Bull House, which is part of the Butler McCook House.
Oh, nice.
At Connecticut Landmarks, which is in Hartford, Connecticut. And that show runs from May 3rd until June 30th. It might go a little longer, but we're thinking at least June 30th. That is called Through the Layers. So that show is going to be that's going to be deep.
Yes, that sounds deep. Through the layers, okay? We're just peeling back that onion, okay? We're getting to the core, right? I love that.
Exactly. And that is going to be, again, similar style, but every show that I'm doing is a unique body of work. So you're not going to see any repeats. So what you see in East Hartford is not going to be what you see in Hartford. And Through the Layers has really been processing a lot of what has happened to me and what happened to me in 2024.
Okay.
I went through a lot of life change, and painting is what got me through that life change. Healing. Yes. And I listened to some different albums that are kind of dark. And so it's a little bit darker, but when you look at the paintings, it's actually kind of light and kind of soothing. But a lot of the music is a little bit more introspective. I have some paintings to Vince Clarke. He's like the ultimate man of the synthesizer. He was in bands like Erasure and Depeche Mode and Yazoo, which are big new wave bands from the 80s. And he had a solo album that he came out with in 2021 called Songs of Silence.
Wow.
And it's ambient, like drone music. It's not for everyone.
Right. But uniqueness. Okay.
I sent it to one of my brothers, and he had to turn it off after the second song because it gave him anxiety. And I'm like, oh, this helps me process my anxiety.
You're like, this is what I needed. I found the peace.
He's like, no, this makes me anxious. So I listened to that. That was really where Through the Layers came out, was that series. I actually painted 12 paintings to that album. Wow. So there's 4 sets of 3 paintings.
12 is a beautiful number, though.
12 is a beautiful number. And I also listened to Portishead's Dummy. Portishead is like a trip hop, I hate that word, but trip hop band of the early 90s. And they came out with this epic album, Dummy. And I've painted, I think, 5 pieces to Dummy.
Wow.
I also painted to Massive Attack, their album Mezzanine. I'm recommending all of these guys. You have to listen to all these albums. So we're going to
create a playlist so that you guys have also. So you're tuning in. You'll be able to see the art live, but also we will have a Spotify playlist for you to be able to experience it and look at the art at the same time, okay?
Absolutely. So I do QR codes with my art. So
of course.
When you're at the gallery, you can just
very modern.
Like, sonic experience. But Mezzanine, also in that like trip hop British kind of groove. I've painted some paintings to that, and those will all be part of Through the Layers. I'm really excited about it. Nice. I've got some canvas pieces. I typically paint on watercolor paper, but I'm going to be painting on canvas as well for Through the Layers.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So expanding in scale as well. Right?
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. And so then you mentioned there's another show.
Yes.
There's another show.
There's 3.
There's 3.
So then on July 1st, I will open Before and Beyond, which will be open for 2 months. It goes until the end of August. And that is going to be the big debut of a piece that I'm working on called Before the Flood, which I'm going to do a whole episode on Before the Flood.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
That's a key highlight.
That's one of the biggest artistic projects I've ever worked on. So I'm really excited to share that in like detail.
It's a journey.
It is a journey. So Before the Flood will be part of that, but then also we've got a series of paintings that I've done on symphonies. So I've been listening to a lot of symphonies lately and created a series of paintings to symphonies, which I'm still working on. So there's some that are yet to be created, but I've got to finish them by July 1st. I got time.
You got time. You got time. Let it stew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I've got going on. I've got 3 solo shows. All of them are going to have artist receptions. So I'm going to repeat the dates again.
Yes.
March 31st to May 11th with an artist reception on April 17th at East Hartford Public Library. And then it's going to be May 3rd through June 30th with an artist reception on June 12th at the Amos Bull House in Hartford. And there's also going to be jazz in the garden that night. They have a beautiful garden right outside of the gallery.
Will be set.
And there's going to be, it's Sunset Sounds. It's their jazz series that they're going to have going. It's a concert series. So that'll be happening that night as well. And then I'll be at the Jewish Community Center in West Hartford. Huge gallery, the Chase Gallery. It's a beautiful gallery. I'm so excited to be there. And that's going to be the July 1st. And artist reception, July 24th. And there's going to be a special performance that night. So it's going to be really exciting.
I love it. I love it. So you get to each show, you'll have adornment of beautiful, unique art throughout different variations of music and experiences, unique interpersonal sessions where it's like an artist meet and greet for each of the shows. Definitely tune in. You have unique experiences, unique art, one of a kind pieces. Don't miss these opportunities. Mander is like a cool lady. Okay.
And you can buy that art.
And you can buy the art. Support local artists. That's absolutely.
Right. And you can check out the portfolio on amandaroyart.com. So that's where people can check it out. But also social media. Mander.roy on Instagram. You can watch the whole process unfold as I put all these shows together, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm winging it.
You're flowing.
Intuitive, right? Exactly. It's just going with it.
Exactly. Yeah. Intentionality. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you mark your calendars for those 3 shows. If it is that you want to dive deeper with Amanda and really learn and ask about the unique pieces that she has on display, make sure you go to those artist meet and greets. But otherwise, in the meantime, tune into her social media and check out her website.
That's right. Thanks, y'all, for listening to In the Making with Mander. Like, follow, subscribe, do all those things. We're on all the podcast platforms. And shout out to Tim Wiseman, producer. Nivea Easterling, videography. Tiana Correa, co-hosting this time.
Yeah.
Love you guys. All right. Thanks for tuning in.